Hello, everyone. The Robber Guy here. Uh, I did a little tilling in the garden today. It actually turned out to be perfect conditions. I worked last night, got home this morning, and it rained just a little tiny bit. It just made the top of the ground kind of moist, and so I went ahead and went to bed. And when I got up about 1 o'clock today, the top of the ground was already drying out. Underneath it was just a little bit moist. It was just perfect conditions to till. So I thought, well, I'll get out there today and get these weeds tilled up and get them out one final time before I do my planting here in a week or two. So that worked out good. It's supposed to rain, I know, tonight and tomorrow, and then we're supposed to have a real pretty weekend, which I'm glad. So anyway, today I just wanted to talk about some eggs. If you have a little homestead or want to have a little homestead, eggs are one of the easiest and probably most important things you can do. If you just get you a few chickens, it doesn't really take that many. I have 10 chickens right now. Usually I keep more than that. I have a big family though. I mean, I'm feeding 7 people here, so I usually keep 15 to 20. But right now I just have 10, and I'm getting ready to weed 2 of them out. So, because they're just not laying. For whatever reason, they're leghorn chickens, which is a white chicken. It's supposed to be one of the best white egg layers there is, and I might get one egg every 4 or 5 days from them, and that's from 2 chickens. So I'm getting ready to weed them out. So I've really only got 8 chickens laying right now, and I just went down and got my eggs. I hadn't picked them up in 3 days, and I just went down there and got them. I got 23 eggs in 3 days out of 8 chickens. So that means that they're laying an egg a day, basically. I mean, they're just one less than an egg a day. So I thought I'd get these eggs out and show them to you. I'll tell you what, they're a big brown egg. I don't know if you can tell how big that egg is, but that is a lot bigger. That's bigger than any large egg in a grocery store. It's probably at least an extra large, or maybe even a jumbo, or whatever they might call it. But that's the kind of eggs that these chickens lay. I mean, these are, sometimes they're not always perfect shape. Sometimes they'll be a little more oblong. You can see how tall that egg is. I mean, just big brown eggs is what these Isa Browns lay, and they're just wonderful tasting. They're good for you. I tell you, I went and had my cholesterol checked. It's been a little over a year ago now, and my triglycerides were a little high, and my cholesterol was a little bit high. It wasn't bad, but it was just a little bit above what the doctor wanted. So, well, I'll tell you the truth, I didn't change my eating habits. I eat 2 eggs at least 5 times a week. Of these eggs, my homegrown eggs. And I went back a couple months ago after a year and checked it, and my triglycerides had come down. They actually come down 100 points. They were about 100 above what they should have been. Right now, it's right there where it should be. And the doctor asked me what I did, and I said, I didn't do anything. I try to eat a little healthier than I did. I guess I have done that. Not as much junk food and things. I eat a lot of what I grow here. But I said I still had 2 eggs a day, at least 5 days a week, sometimes 7. I get up every day after work. Well, after work, I come home, go to bed. I work nights, and then I get up, and I usually have 2 eggs. And I usually have sausage from my pigs that I raise. So he said, that just goes to show you it's not just what you eat, it's how the food's grown. And I really do believe that. I think that's an important thing. So if you're looking at getting a homestead, or you have a small one, and you're just starting out, and you're wanting to think about what to do, chickens are a great thing. They're easy to raise. They really require very little maintenance and care. Like I said, I hadn't been down there in 3 days. I go about every 2 to 3 days and pick up my eggs, and just make sure everything's okay. But I see them out there pecking around in the yard, and they're just an easy animal to take care of. They don't take a whole lot of feed, especially if there's grass and weeds and things like that for them to eat, because they'll go through and pick all the dandelions and weeds and clover and different things out. And actually, they'll eat every piece of grass out there. Right now, I've got a big bare spot where I have them. I'm getting ready to fence off another portion for them to get them over there, so I can let that come back, because they've pretty much eaten it down. But they're just really easy to take care of. They really are. It doesn't cost a lot to build a coop for them. You don't have to go buy one from Tractor Supply, spend hundreds of dollars. You can build a coop relatively cheap. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. Just something for them to get out of the weather. And they like to perch. They like to be up on something. So I perch a couple feet off the ground, and that's where they'll sleep all night. And if you put your chickens in there when you first get them, however, if you get pullets that are already a little older, or if you raise up baby chicks, which is the best way to do it, I'll tell you, that's not really that hard to do either. There's a lot of information out there about that, about how to take care of them, and they're not really hard to take care of. And once you raise them up, you put them in that chicken coop, and you just close them up in there for about a week. You feed them and water them, don't let them out of that coop. And once you open that door, you don't have to have a fence or anything. Them chickens will come out, they'll pick, they'll eat, as long as you don't have a lot of predators around. And I do, that's why I have a fence up. But and then at night they'll go right back in their coop, and that's where they'll sleep. And you can go down there and close the door if you want to, and if you want to keep them in for a day or two for some reason. So, like I said, they're really easy to take care of. They're a great thing to have as far as being a prepper is concerned, or wanting to just live off the grid, or just be more self-sustainable. Because if you run out of feed to feed them, you can always just let them out, and they'll eat grass, and they'll be fine. And they'll lay eggs, especially if you get the right kind of chicken. There's a lot of good ones out there. I personally like the Isa Brown. They're a hybrid chicken. They're just such great egg layers. I mean, these chickens I've got here, these are over 2 years old now, and they're still laying, I mean, almost an egg a day. I mean, at 23, the most I could have got was 24. So they're still doing really well. And here shortly, I'm going to be ordering some Isa Brown baby chicks, and I'll put them in my little brooder box I built. And I'll try to make a video of that, show you some things I do, and how I raise them. I've always had good luck with them. Had very few ever die. So I'll try to get a video about that out there, get a little more information out. Well, thank you for watching. I'd love to hear your comments or questions or anything. If you don't care, like and subscribe. And remember, all gun laws are unconstitutional.